Hi Leo, welcome to your season. I'm Ruby and welcome to Rubyreadstarot. Let's read for the month of August. Happy birthday guys, right off the bat. And we've been indoors for so long, I thought let's come outside for your season. Leo, I was channeling some messages for you earlier and there was a few things that came through quite distinctively. And before we get into the tarot, I think it's probably a good idea for me to tell you what these things were. Leo, there was a message about the same old relationship that you might be playing out in your life at the moment. 5 of Swords. The same old conflict, the same old reason to battle, the same old predictive argument, the same old recycled story, the same old person, but in a different packaging. I feel as if you have come into conflict at the moment, Leo, you've got to bear in mind, I have a feeling that this is an argument that you've already had before. This is some sort of cyclical pattern that you're now being challenged to break through. There is a lot of covering ground, Leo, that needs to be done in your season. That might mean that you're having to break away from people that you just know are, like, you've already had this lesson. You've already had relationships with these people. It's like a recycled version of the same situation, the same pattern, the same relationship. You've already been there, you've already done it, and 5 of Swords kind of conflict is like, you've got to ask yourself here, is the battle really worth it? Is there anything progressive to this? Is there any way you can overcome this or change it or make it work for you? And if the answer to that is no, then you kind of got to ask yourself what you're doing, recycling the same experience. I feel as if, Leo, there's a real call for your freedom. Your month has been, and I think the run up to your season this year has a lot to do with your liberation, has had a lot to do with how you've been able to free yourself from something that would have been quite binding, something that would have held you quite intently fixed in one place. For a Leo, fixed fire, a place to, burn, a place to create energy is fantastic. But for you, Leo, I just feel as if it was becoming quite quickly a place of stagnation. One where you might have felt as if you needed to get away just merely for your own life force, just merely for your own, well-being. Leo, this month for me, I think, Leo energy, you're having to, overcome a lot of, characters that you've already dealt with before. You're having to learn from people that you've already been with numerous times, right? Different faces, same relationship. How overcoming all of this stuff is really going to be more about how determined and how focused you are and how committed you are to your freedom. Realistically, how badly do you want it, Leo? I have a feeling that you might be needing to make some sort of peace amongst people. There's very obviously a group that has come to you with gossip or conflict or just petty, childish kind of behaviors, but really testing your patience, really seeing what you've got, how much bite you've got in you. And if, Leo, it's come to the point where you very clearly had to lay your foot down and say what you need to say about it, just be very careful with these characters. They seem a bit slippery and a bit tricky to me, okay? Defend yourself for sure, but just, I'm not saying keep your back up. I am just saying, just don't bite as hard as you can, basically. Go easy on the ones around you at the moment, yeah. I feel as if everyone's kind of displaying, we've got two kind of situations that are going on with people at the moment. Everyone's either displaying their worst characteristics or people are just really evolving. And I think there are certain people that are showing you how they can be trusted and how they can be relied on. Whereas other people, really, for you, are just recycling it's regurgitating the same kind of mistake. The same life experience, the same thing you've already been and done. Leo, your season can be one where might have you feeling as if you've got to come at a situation in a more aggressive form. And I think there might be a need for you to really hold your ground this month. I think also there's a reason that there are things that are coming up now. And I think that reason is really so that you can, while you're having all this sun revival energy in your sign, is to really see what it is that you can finally learn from these situations, these relationships, and how it is that you can move forward now. And maybe make your peace with whatever you can. The cards really don't want to speak for you today, Leo. A 1-card reading. The 5 of Swords. I think the obvious message here is there is an inevitable victory for you, Leo. And you might even come out of this month feeling exhausted because you've had to really battle it out with people or situations that I think you've been needing to for a while. But it's like I said, be careful that you're not regurgitating the same experience. Be very careful that you're not like putting yourself in a place of vulnerability just sheerly because you want the best possible outcome for everyone, but you're not necessarily dealing with people that understand that. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting for you, Leo. And I think the messages that I was getting for you earlier were very much to do with... So I've got 2 cards here. I've got the 2 of Cups and I've got the 7 of Pentacles. You've been working, I think, towards a partnership, Leo, that's required quite a lot of energy out of you. It's required quite a lot of consistency from you. It's required a lot of commitment from you. It's required you to really get your head down. And this partnership doesn't need to be romantic. It can be business. It can be otherwise. If you're beginning to see some sort of animosity in the situation, I think you really are guided to work on it as best as you can, Leo, and just see where it is that you might have to reel in your own bite, your own snap, you know, that Leo aggression, where it is that you can maybe... all the cards are dropping on the floor, I'm sorry. 3 of Swords. Where it is that you can try and make amends with heartaches that have happened before, and how this season really wants to see you a bit more committed to your own task at hand, Leo. It might want to see you really reconciling a few hurts and heartaches. Could be in regards to relationship, previous relationship. Either way, what you're trying to do at this point can mean that you are liberated from stories of failure from the past. And it really is your commitment to this moment. It really is the hard work and dedication that you want to show in this moment, Leo, that will get you through a tricky situation in regards to love, if you decide that that's it. If you decide that, you know what, the arguments have been too much and it is time to move forward. I've got the 6 of Pentacles for you, Leo, and there's got to be some sort of equal give and take. I think you've got to be able to really balance out certain energies, especially if you're surrounded by conflict at the moment, especially if you're working together on trying to build something. There's got to be some sort of respect for give and take. There's got to be some sort of common ground. I think you guys need to make peace with a few things and like really try to shut out different points of aggressions. Really try and resolve those. Try and move forward in a way where you know that if things aren't addressed, they are going to be turning into conflict. So the real need for transparency and the real need for an honest give and take right now. Especially see where you can make things as firm as possible, how deeply you can build your foundations, and what it is you can do to try and resolve some sort of previous hurts, heartaches. Just try and squash the battle now. That it's like you've gone beyond You've gone beyond, above and beyond, as much as you can in this situation, Leo. And I feel like don't taint it and don't ruin it now by letting it go bad, by letting it go sour. I don't think that would be the lesson for this month. It might mean a lot of damage control, and it might mean that you need to do the damage control. It might mean that you are having to... Hold on one second. My cards are falling in the wet floor. It's still raining in London. This is so ridiculous, right? Star card, King of Swords, and the Empress. This infamous Libra that is always lingering around in your readings could be potential Aquarius also. The energy really right now is for you to surrender control, Leo. Surrender things that aren't necessarily productive in your growth. There's a lot of releasing that needs to be done this month because you need a real focus intent on your dreams, aspirations, and visions. And I think if you are going to take the chance to go and plug forward in that, you will find yourself really capable of curating this Two of Wands, or this Empress need for fertility, to feel fruitful, to feel like you've achieved, to feel like you're doing things. As I said before, this Lionsgate portal thing is really powerful. It's really potent energy. Sirius and the Sun both lined up together in the sky. You could use that energy for a lot of good, a lot of reboosting confidence if you wanted to. It is kind of a time where there is no like real rigid, firm like structures to time at the moment. Like, I don't know how to say it, but time's really fluid at the moment. And I think the need to just sort of sit with your frustrations and sit with the lessons that you know that you should have learned, and you're somehow still reluctant to like really apply. I think that is something that this month might really need you to address. And if you're needing to be the big person, squash some sort of animosities, I think I would do it, and I'd do it quite quickly, Leo, and I wouldn't really think too much about it, and I would think it's a really good time to kind of avoid conflict in general. And if you can't, then really ask yourself where it's coming from. And if it's, I think, conducive to how you've decided that this next phase of your journey is supposed to be. Because if you can, Leo, make amends with the people around you, I think you'll find you get a lot more help than you were even expecting. I think give it a try, Leo. Have a bit more faith in people. If there is a Libra or an Aquarius in the situation, if it's in regard to a partnership, you might have to be the bigger person this month. And I think with the amount of energy that's going through your sign at the moment, it won't be too difficult to do. Just be very careful. Like, you don't need to repeat the same lessons with the different versions of the same person. I think this summer is all about your liberation, Leo. So take this time and set yourself free. Old patterns, old habits, old people, old relationships, all the rest of it. Squash it all now. I think that's all I have for you, Libra. Libra, again! This happened in your last month's reading too, which was late, but I think the message came out, especially when it was supposed to. Exactly when it was supposed to. In the garden, why not, right? It's supposed to be summer, even though that is very much a grey sky. Hopefully it gets better soon. Thank you for joining, guys. Do give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Take it easy. Bye.